Hi everybody, my name is Deb Holland. Thanks for joining me today. We've been working our way through my workbook, Taming the Toxic Workplace, which is available on my website at debhollandlcsw.com or amazon.com. Today we're going to talk about strategies for moving forward. So far we've covered assessing the problem's impact on you, your impact on the problem, and minimizing the damage short term. Today we are going to move forward and start talking about strategies. And figuring out what the problem is and how it's impacting us, how we're impacting it, and thinking about how to minimize the damage are all short-term strategies. Every single one of those is a short-term solution. And what that does is it buys you some breathing room and some time and some space to be able to think clearly about what next steps you want to take. Because if you're dealing with entrenched toxicity, it requires longer-term thinking. If you're dealing with relentless chaos, it takes a comprehensive, multifaceted solution to deal with that kind of an issue. So what you want to do is you want to set a realistic goal. Notice I didn't say any goal or the goal that you feel like having or that you're trying to teach someone a lesson or what you think the solution should be. What you're trying to do is set a realistic goal. So you want to think about the following things as criteria when you're trying to vet goals and decide for yourself which one might be a good solution. That is, what are your chances of success? Is there any possibility that this could be successful or not? And if you think it does not have much of a chance of success, that might be a potential solution to go ahead and let go of early in the process. And then you also want to think through the most likely backlash. Here's the thing about toxic workplaces. Someone is benefiting from them. And maybe there are a lot of someones, or at least a few someones, and whoever that someone or whoever the group is that's benefiting from the craziness, they do not want to give up the benefits they're giving from the workplace being toxic or being corrupt or being whatever the situation is that you're dealing with. And so you're going to have a backlash from those people, and you need to carefully consider the power that they hold, the authority that they hold, and how they might be able to damage you or your family, your career, the people around you, and you need to consider the backlash along with the chances of success for each and every potential solution you come up with. You also need to think about the risks you're willing to take. If you're going to take on a toxic workplace, I'm going to tell you straight up that most people have the experience that there is a risk that you could lose your job. Now, that's a conversation you've got to have with your family. If you're a person of faith, that's a situation you need to pray about and follow what you think, your family thinks, and what you're hearing from God on this about what solution is going to work for you. And maybe, just maybe, it's not the right time. Maybe you have a great solution in mind, but you know that 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road is a much better time to try and deal with things than right now. So make sure that you think about the risks that you're willing to take and whether or not, bottom line, you're willing to risk your job. If you're not, you're going to have to find a way to deal. If you are, then there are some good things and sometimes creative things you can do to help move the situation forward and shift things out of a bad cesspool of an environment. You also need to think about the cost you're willing to bear. It can be very expensive in every conceivable way, including and especially financially and health-wise when you take on a toxic workplace. So make sure you think about, do you have money for an attorney? If you don't, work with someone who works on a contingency basis if you decide to go ahead with some sort of adversarial action. If you don't have the funds, you really need to think about that up front. If you're in a precarious health situation and any more stress or any more chaos is going to just really crash your health, then maybe this isn't the best thing for you to do. Maybe it isn't the right time for you to do it. So make sure you think through, are you willing to bear the cost? And there's also going to be a cost to your family in terms of your stress and your reduced ability to be a functioning member of the family on at least some days when you are struggling with the intensity and the magnitude of the situation at work. Regaining your power, which is what all of this is about. It's not just about solving problems, it's about regaining your power as a person. It starts with trusting your gut feelings and your thoughts about what strategy might be effective. So make sure that you are very in tune with thinking about the players, the environment, and the system. That's going to give you great information for moving forward. So, real quick, we are going to get into realistic goals. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining me.